Hi everyone, my name is Naha Haflin. I'm the founder of Yoga avec Moi, and I am super excited to welcome all of you to Yoga avec Moi's membership portal guest expert lecture series. So every month we usually invite a guest speaker, and this month, for the month of March, we invited Mr. Chirag Devi, and we're super excited to have him because in the month of March, many Baha'is around the world will be fasting, and many of the people in the membership portals are Baha'is as well. So I was like thinking that since the membership portal is mostly about integrative yoga therapy, why not combine or like share what yoga actually talks about fasting? And there's many actually benefits and interesting facts that I think would assist Baha'is to perform their fast even better, or actually anyone who fasts for that matter. So today we are super excited to have Mr. Chirag Devi here with us. And what I wanted to ask is that for everyone to, Chirag is going to be speaking for about like 40 minutes. And then at the end, we're going to have like an interaction component of 20 minutes or so. You're welcome to ask any questions that you like that come up in the talk. So if there is anything you would like to ask, please directly message me in the chat. Try to keep the chat relatively free or non-existent if possible, so that we can all like focus on Chirag's wonderful lecture as he shares. But please feel free to, at any point in time, if you have any questions throughout the lecture, send it to me privately, and at the end I will conglomerate them together and see if there's any repeated questions. I'll just lump them into one. But if there's unique questions, then maybe I'll invite you to actually come up on screen if you like, and ask the question directly to Chirag. So without further ado, we're super excited. Let's welcome Mr. Chirag Devi. So excited to have you. Take it away.
Hey, Nahal, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for this beginning. And I'm too excited to see the people and having a special interest on a very specific subject. So thank you very much. And I think it is a 2 p.m. in Beijing. So very good afternoon who are joined from the Beijing, and good morning, good evening who are from the other part of the world. My name is Chirag Dave, and just on a brief introduction, I'm basically an engineer and control engineer, and I'm on job. I'm a project manager in oil and gas. Now, I know that my introduction is different and the subject is different, but yes, that's the interesting part here. I'm basically from India, doing a job in Bahrain in Middle East, and today what we are going to discuss is very interesting subject is on fast. And now I'm sharing my screen. So let me just know if my screen is visible to all, and my audio is clear to everyone. Is it? Okay. All right. So here the word comes Ekadashi, and our topic is fast here, right? So who are from the Baha'is, that they are already aware that it is called the two wings of the life, right? What are these two wings of the life? One is the moon and one is the sun. And moon is related to obligatory prayer, whereas the sun is related to a fasting. So here today, we are going to discuss about fast, and that is on a specific day is called Ekadashi day. Now this Ekadashi is the Sanskrit word that's nothing special, but it literally means digit 11. So Ekadashi is equal to 11 digit, nothing else. And you all, many of you are doing fasting, many of you are trying doing fasting, but there is a very specific things which I came to know, that on 11th day of the month, we have a month right from date which starts from 1st of January to 31st of January, like so every we have 30 days, 31 days. In that there is a specific day comes 11th day. Okay. And on 11th day, there is a very specific significance, and that is what which I'm going to tell you today. So today's topic will be on a two different matter. One is as a whole fasting any day in the month, and second, very specific about on 11th day. And this is all about the science behind it. Okay, it is not all about the do fasting and you have to do this. No, it's about while you do a fast, you get a lot of benefit, right? That you all know that. But why you get that benefit? How you can maximize that benefit? What is the science behind it? So those are the very interesting thing which I'm going to tell you. So be ready with this ride, and I am for sure that this will be a very, very interesting. So moving on to the next slide, where the whole discussion which I have drafted, I have tailored with these two references. You know that in my introduction, I have told you that I'm an engineer, okay, but as on a different part, I have written one book also, and that book I have written by myself and published by myself. Okay. So this whole discussion has two references. Number one is my book, which name is Ekadashi, which is the 11th day of the month, and body and mind healing method, right? So I'm not telling that, yeah, fast is a healing method. Fasting is a healing thing. But I'm saying as a whole that Ekadashi, or let us consider in whole discussion, Ekadashi is equal to the fast. Okay. So the fast is a method which heals your body and mind. Okay. So that's the one reference. And second reference I have picked up from the Baha'u'llah's writing, the Abdul Baha's writings, and the prayers of Baha'u'llah's from the fast. So these are the things which I have tailored here. So now the interesting thing is, how did I came on this subject? I am an engineer. I'm actually not a very good spiritual guy. Yes, now I am, but not that much, right? Then how did I fall on this subject? So there is a very interesting story behind it. I am in a Bahrain, and I was forced bachelor for a few months. Okay. My wife and my kids were in India for their study. And for the lust of having a very good food, I started going to one temple on every Friday. And it was just for the interest of having a good food, nothing else. But I reached few minutes before, and what happened? Some saint or monk was giving some lecture. And in that lecture, I heard that tomorrow is Ekadashi and everyone has to fast. I just heard it, went home. And next day was holiday. I was surfing YouTube, and I listened someone else was saying, it was a Sadhguru from India, it's another monk, said, yeah, Ekadashi is very good. Okay, everyone has to fast. I said, yeah, okay. I still heard it. It was not impacted me. It was not triggered me anything. Then I, by fluke, I get to know with some other sects that, yeah, also giving some importance to Ekadashi. Okay. Then I started exploring that why everybody is saying to do a fast. When I explored, you will not believe what I found. For exploration, where I will go to our scriptures, I'll go to our history, right? The proven track record, what is that? That I tried to find it out. And then I found that Baha'u'llah is saying it is a fundamental of the divine law and one of the pillar of religion of the God, fasting. This is about fasting. That is what Baha'u'llah is saying. Okay, I heard it, I read it. What Bible says, yeah, when you fast, your Father who see in secret will reward you. I said, oh, wow. It means Bible also saying the same thing. I went further, and Hebrew Bible has written to me with all your heart with fasting. Oh, it means there is something. Hebrew Bible also is saying, Quran, oh, you who believe with fasting, you may develop God consciousness. Then my curiosity went on increasing that what is happening. Let me find out what other religions also says. Okay. Then I found Jain. Ekadashi is the day of festival, worship, penance at your best. You can get ultimate happiness of the moksha, what is the freedom of life and death cycle. then it was like, okay, let me go ahead, go on. And I just explore everything. This is another sect of Hindu. And they said, yeah, perform Ekadasi ritual with all the respects. Okay. This is a Padma Puran. This is again Hindu scriptures. In Hindu scriptures, there are Puranas, Vedas. So those are the books on which the complete Hinduism is built. And I explored one after the other, all the Puranas. There are 18 Puranas. And all the Puranas without fail says among all kind of social and spiritual order or even women, everyone should fast on Ekadasi days. And then it was very clear for me that there is something because all the scripture doesn't say this like anything. They just write for the sake of writing, right? Because I was aware that all our scriptures, the ancient time, they don't explain the science behind it, but they explain something which people believes in and force it to do by reading. You will get sin, you will get this benefit. So with the trait and benefit and all those mix, they just write it. And then I found everyone is saying this. Okay, then I prefer the most important scripture of Hinduism, which is called Bhagavad Gita, which is equal to like Quran or Bible, the similar book of Hinduism. And as Abdul Baha was talking on his Paris talk, that message of Krishna is a Hindu Lord. Krishna is a message of love. So what Krishna says, then let me just walk through that. And he was saying that in the 3 words, the greatest Ekadasi fast is the ultimate remedy of controlling the restlessness of the mind. Ekadasi helps in eradicating all sins, eliminate fear, and grant the dharmas, what all desire of your life, earth, which is a finance, conduct, desire, and liberation. Okay. And even if one performs this fast without a proper attitude, he achieves a supreme abode. And if he performs with a full devotion, what can happen to him is like cannot be described. So that was the things. And now then I have decided that, okay, I need to explore this. So far what I have talked to you is all about there is a written somewhere and how it happens, why it happens, it's not there. So I started working on this. And on that time, after this, I started interviewing the people. I have interviewed almost 40 doctors. I have interviewed almost 30 to 35 space scientists. Okay, why I will tell you. And I also interviewed about more than 100 people who are doing Ekadasi fast. Okay, and after all this research, this continued for almost 14 to 15 months. And after 14 to 15 months, what I found is unbelievable. It is a treasure box. It is something like I got a lot of things that which I was searching for, and then what I did, I started writing for myself, because when I interviewed 100 of the people who are doing Ekadasi fast, they were not sure when to start, when to stop, how to break your fast. During fast, what you need to take care, what are the do's, what are don'ts. They were confused. Everyone were following the different method. And I was seeing that they were not actually captivating the full benefit of doing this fast, because fast is not an easy task, right? It is a sacrifice. So they were not getting the full benefit. Then I thought that let me write for myself, at least let me do perfectly. But when I thought that, okay, it is actually something good and everybody wants to do that, let me write a book for it. So though I am an engineer, I was not into this subject. I have come to this topic that, okay, let me write something for everyone who gets benefit from the right knowledge or right research, what is there and what actually all our scripture says. I have not done anything new actually. I just converted into a scientific way and attached to the logic that why these benefits are. So finally, what I found, that I found that this method means fasting is the only tool on the earth which gives physical healing as well as mental healing. Both the things together. Okay. Because if you want to have a physical healing, you have a lot of tools. Like you can do exercise, you can walk, you can do a breathing and all those things, right? But that gives you only first majority on a physical side. When you do meditation, when you kind of do prayers and all, that gives a mental healing. But this fasting is the only one which gives both, which combines both. Okay, so I know that now you will be thinking that, yeah, it is a little bit correct, little bit okay, not conformed, right? That yeah, it gives physical and mental thing. Physical, everybody is aware, it gives a benefit to our body, perfect. But how mental, that I'm going to explain it here. So when all this research was happening, I was writing this book, and finally, this is not possible to discuss each and every topic in this 40 or 45 minutes session, but I will straight take you to the secret, what I found, okay, the crux of the whole research. And then I will take you to the logic of that. So the first secret, first treasure which I found from the box is that fasting, and especially waterless fasting, gives enormous benefit to humankind. How? It reduces some weight. I know that it's still, you all are aware about this. It reduces some weight. Let me tell you, it is in milligram or grams or in kilograms. It cleans the bowel system and help the complex factory machines to do a preventive and corrective maintenance, which is this complex factory machines, our body. Okay, I will show you the next slide, how our body is so complicated and how this machinery works within that body. And the third point, which is I think a little bit new for all of you, is it triggers autophagy process and generate tons and tons of T cells and B cells, which are responsible for regeneration and reduce the probability of having cancer. So now this autophagy is a term which depicts that when your body goes into a starvation mode while you are fasting, then it triggers some process within the body and it generates a lot of cells. It reduces or eats a lot of bad cells. So those cells are responsible for having cancer. And this autophagy is the process which enters within the body, which starts within the body once you fasting reaches to a 24-hour, 16 to 24-hour stage. I will tell you that what happens to your body when you are fasting for 8 hours. What happens to your body when you are fasting from 8 to 12, from 12 to 16, 16 to 24, and up to 36 hours. Okay. So each and every hour you fast after 8 hours, you start getting a lot of benefits. But mind it, if you are fasting less than 8 hours, do not fast. It is just wastage of your energy and your everything. It is not going to give any benefit because it is marked as you are fasting only and only after 8 hours and first set. Till that time, body doesn't enter into that particular mode. Okay, so this is the first secret. And now, what the second secret? Now here you will see something different. Okay, as I told you in the first secret that the reduced water and food reduces your weight, though in milligram, but it reduces the weight. And that reduces the impact of sun, moon, and earth gravitational force. So this is something new, right? This gravitational force and electromagnetic force. So here is the twist. So far, you all were aware that by fasting, it reduces food intake, water intake. It reduces. Also reduces your weight by some grams, milligrams, kilograms, whatever. But what is this about sun, moon, and earth, gravitational force? How fasting is related to this? Here is the real twist, and this is what actually I thought that I want to tell you everything, and I definitely need to spend a time for all of you that you should understand this. And now you will be amazed when I'm going to tell you that how sun, moon, and earth gravitational force and electromagnetic force is related to a fast, and how it teaches us that what the way to do the fast, and it will give you enormous benefit. Because remember, all the scriptures, all the religions were saying fast. It was not saying like anything. Okay. Because they were aware about this secret. It was not mentioned because it was very difficult to explain to the people. Okay. So that is what I am trying today to explain that how. And that is why the two wings of life was related to a sun and moon. Why not with anything else? So that is what the secret, they were aware about it, but it was difficult to explain. And that is what I tried to do that. And I by looking at the success of my book, I can see that, yes, the people have given a great response, not only in one part of the world, but all across the globe, everywhere, because this is the subject which I believe has never come up on the earth. Yeah, there are a lot of books on Ekadashi, which is on a spiritual part, a lot of books on fasting, which are on autophagy part. Okay. But this subject on the connecting of fasting of moon and sun and earth were not. So now be with me. I will take you a very slow ride starting from the, so ultimate aim of the whole discussion is to discuss about secret 1 and secret 2. Okay. Now for that, first of all, we all need to understand our body. I know that we all are intelligent enough to understand our body, but see this. Okay. This is a 30-second video and just see this. See here it is catching the photo. So there is a mechanic device is a camera. It is taking a breath. So there are fan, filters, conveyor systems, piping systems. These are the pumping systems. See, there's a cutter. Then here it is a saliva, which is a spray pump. It is a crusher. Then there is a transport mechanism. See here also we have a time controlled sensors. When material comes, it gives a spray. Material goes, it stops. Here is the damper. See, these are the full mechanism of the body. How much complicated, and each and every device you think on the earth is available in the body. Our body is having 4 urinary systems, 5 respiratory systems, 13 digestive systems, 2 lymphatic systems, 700 veins. All these bloods, impure bloods, 700 veins we have, 24 arteries we have, 6.25 meters long small intestine, 2.5 meters long a large intestine. So there are a lot of which just I spoke, those are very limited. But there are a lot many equipments, lot many devices. And all of above, the most important thing is our human body is approximately 70% of the water. See, this is what the crux of everything. Our human body is 70% of the water, while all this equipment, all these devices, they are working 24/7, even though we are sleeping, but each of this device, each of this equipment are working within our body. Don't you think that it also requires rest? Don't you think that it also requires preventive maintenance? It requires, otherwise what will happen? It will have a breakdown, untimely breakdown. If you don't keep a care of this, if you don't keep a preventive and corrective maintenance, right? So one important thing is, if you reduce the intake of your food and water at some interval, it is definitely going to give a benefit to each of these devices, each of this equipment. And believe me, when you fast more than 12 hours, you will feel within your body that this factory is stopping down slowly. Because it's why this factory is running, you keep taking intakes, whether from eyes, from ears, from your mouth, just keep taking intakes. And all the intakes body has to process and give some output in terms of whether your action, in terms of whether your body progress or whatever. But it has to be given some output, and for that it has to continue, keep working. Now, when you give rest to this, it will start a repair mechanism. Okay, so now let us be here up to now about your body. That body has a complex mechanism and it is having 70% of the water. Okay, now look at this figure, what it says. Here it is having, it shows earth, it shows fire, it shows water, it shows air, it shows sky, which is ether, right? So, and there are kids, people, tree, apple, fishes, there are some plants. Okay, so this actually figure is something which says that you have a basic 5 element of the universe, not earth, universe, right? What are those basic 5 elements? Earth, fire, water, air, and ether. And each and everything existing on the earth are linked to this particular element. As like our body is 70% of water, then the fishes are also made of water. Any plants from the earth, to grow that plant, it requires air and sun, heat. So everything in a way is linked to this basic 5 elements. And we are all made of 5 elements. Okay. So that's why in all the religion, when anyone dies, what happens? Where the end ritual happens, either it is being buried, which is in earth, or it is being burned, which is fire, or it is offered to a water, right, which is your water part. So ultimately your body is being offered somewhere, and that is into out of this 5 element only. And here is your body finally is according to what you eat, right? Whatever you eat, your body will develop, because ultimately body is the form, another form of your food, what you intake. And what does it mean? What you don't eat, that also is your body. Hope everything so far you all are with me, and I'm able to explain you that what our body is and what our 5 element. In one of the interview, that Italian actress was asked that what is the secret of your smartness, your beauty? And she replied, it is a pasta. Everybody laughed, but she told one great thing. She was actually understanding this concept, that what she eat is the outcome of that body. So her smartness, her beauty is actually what is the food she was interviewing. So her answer was absolutely correct, right? That the secret of her beauty is a pasta. Yes, because she was eating pasta. So point here is what I'm trying to drive here is that our body is having 70% of the water, and it is linked to all the universe element. Now, the most, I will not discussing the all other elements, but I am now discussing the ether part, which is the sky. That how our body is linked to that. And mind it, each and every element should have a very equal proportion to us. If it increases or decreases, we are not able to sustain on the earth. Temperature just increase 2 degrees, what happens? You know that. The wind flow is increases beyond our tolerable limit, what happens? You know that. Similar way, earth, if it's earthquake and it doesn't behave the way it has, it doesn't grow the plant, what happens? You know that. So each and every element has to be a proportion on our body, then only we can definitely live a proper life. So with this, what I want to now take you to a different track. So up to now, you are clear that our body has a complex mechanism. It possesses 70% of the water. You all have observed in a month, there are few days that there are high tide and low tides in a sea. Everyone has observed, right? There is nothing new in this. But this high tide and low tide happens at particular time interval. That time interval is when sun and moon and Earth comes to a straight line. And this happened twice in a month. Okay, why it happens twice in a month? I'll tell you. But twice in a month, there is a situation where sun, earth, and moon comes into a straight line because everybody is moving around everyone. And when this happens, this high tide will happen. And on the other side, when it happens different way, low tide will happen. And now you see here in this image, when high tide, see the kilometers of the water comes to your side, and the huge volume, it attracts the huge volume to the seashore. Same way, the huge volume is going away from the seashore, right? So who is pulling this? What is that force? It pulls the huge volume of water to the seashore. And when it pulls, see the power of this water here in video. People cannot stand there, not people, whole infrastructure, big buildings that cannot stand. That is the force this water has. Now, I told you, our body also has 70% water. So, in this duration, when this all three comes in a straight line, this seawater faces this kind of a pull force. It gets pulled with huge forces towards the seashore or away from the seashore. Similar thing is happening to our body. Getting my point? Similar thing. Now, this water has an open seashore, so it can flow. But what happens within our body? It is confined with our skin and the bones and the outer layer. It cannot go out. Then what will happen? It creates pressure on our devices, what we have seen. How many equipment we have seen? Many. Everything was working 24/7. Now, this water is creating a push on those equipment. It is hampering their efficiency. For example, blood is passing into arteries, and when this situation happens, it pushes that artery. Blood cannot pass. It creates pressure, and we start feeling high blood pressure. Similar way, there are the chemicals which has to reach to several equipments. Like any mechanical thing, we need to keep lubricating it. If we don't, then it will fail someday. Similar way, our body equipment also needs to have some kind of chemicals, which either brain produce or some other part produce. But because of this phenomena, it will not reach to a particular equipment on time. Or maybe it reaches, but not in a sufficient quantity. What does it create? It creates hypertension. It creates behavior issues. It creates a lot of other disease. So now, are you getting the little link between how sun, moon, earth is creating a problem within the body? But still, I have not told you by doing fast how we are going to get resolve this. I'll come to that. But I hope up to this, everyone is clear. And now let me take you a little deep into that. This in our 5th standard, we have all studied. It is our solar system wherein the sun, the moon, the earth, everyone is rotating about each other. I have told you the two forces. One is gravitational force, one is electromagnetic force. So just remember those two forces in secret too. I'll come to the one by one to the each. What are those? Now, these all you know. There is a sun, there is earth, moon, and all other planets. All are moving around each other. That at least is very clear, right? Now, out of that, let us park all other planets, but focus on sun, moon, and earth. Sun, moon, and earth, this is a sun. And see, the moon is rotating around earth, and earth and moon both rotating around the sun. This is how it works. Now, in a universe, each and every component are rotating. Each and every component. There is nothing stagnant. Earth, moon, sun, planet, stars, everything is rotating. Okay. Within our body, body is made of trillions of cells, and cells are made of proton, neutron, and electron. So electron keeps rotating around nucleus, which is proton and neutron. So that inside body also it is rotating, everything is moving. Outside body also everything is moving. So when there are two different things moving compared to each other, it generates one force that is called electromagnetic force. Okay, and now what does it mean? Electromagnetic force is always impacting us, always, because everything is moving. Within our body, cells are moving. Outside our body, all other elements are moving. It means everything. It means electromagnetic force is always impacting us. So what is electromagnetic force? When two different things parallel to each other or compared to each other are rotating around or with, then they generate one kind of force which impacts both the element. So our body also gets impacted with this electromagnetic force. And that is why that Vastu Shastra and everything has come actually. Don't keep your head towards north, south while sleeping. Keep your water on the north side, fire on the south side. So there are the reasons that electromagnetic forces are to reduce the electromagnetic forces. Okay, those are the Vastus and all. They tell us how to reduce electromagnetic forces on your body. So it doesn't impact. Okay, now up to this, if you are clear that sun is rotating, moon and earth is rotating, surrounds the sun, and it gives us phenomena or a situation where all the three comes in a straight line twice in a month. Okay, so I'll tell you that. Now this is a sun. I hope you are able to see me, but not, then let me put laser pointer. Yeah, this is the sun and this is earth on which you are standing. Okay, now moon is rotating here, right? What happens when moon comes in between earth and sun? You will not be able to see the light of the sun on the moon, and that is why you will see a darkness. That darkness, that situation called the new moon. Just recently that new moon has gone few days back, and the month starts. Okay, what happens? The month starts, the moon darkness reduces gradually, and when it reaches on the other side and you see the moon from the earth, it will fully illuminated or lit by the sun. So it is called a full moon. Okay, so this phenomena, now if you want to correlate right now, what happens? What is this? If you want to correlate, when today, which is 5th March, right? Yeah, 5th March. So just new moon has gone few days back. We are into a waxing crescent phase. We are right now here in waxing crescent phase. And the whole month, it will take full month to complete his one circle. Moon will take 1 month to complete the circle around the earth. And that 1 month is like this. That is how we have 30 days or 31 days of a month. Why this month? Why somebody has given 30? Why month is not 20 days? Why month is not 50 days? Why it is 30 days only? This is the precise reason that moon takes 30 or 31 days to complete one full circle around the earth. Clear? So here, let us understand here in the second figure. Okay, let me put on the laser. Yeah, here when there is a new moon at this point, it is let us consider it is a 0 day. So exactly on 14.7, which is exactly on 15 day, half of the day, it will reach to a full moon time, full moon day here. And 3 days before, which is 11th day, that is the Ekadashi day. Similar way, from full moon to new moon, the 11th day is called the Ekadashi day. What does it mean? This 11th day comes twice in a month. And that is how all the scriptures is saying fast on these 2 days. Okay, but hold on so far. Why this fasting on these days? Why not on this 5th, 6th, or 3rd day? Why on 11th day? Okay, so far I have not revealed that point to you, but at least now you are aware that what is called new moon and what is called full moon. Moon and sun pulls the water, which affects our body, and it creates a problem. This thing you are aware, right? So taking forward from here, this understanding is very much important to understand this particular image. Now, don't worry, this is not a scientific image. It is the same image which I showed you, that in a full moon, now what happens? Earth comes in between. See, this is a straight line, right? This is a straight line. What happens here? When we throw an apple towards the sky, what happens? It is to flies away, or it comes to your ground or in your hand. It comes to in your hand, right? Why? When you jump, you don't fly up. You again come. Earth has its own gravitational force. That is a second force. I told you during second cigarette. I hope you are seeing your internet connection unstable. Yeah, okay. Okay. So when everything is thrown towards the sky, it comes down because there is a force which pulls everything down, and that is called a gravitational force. Earth has its gravitational force. That's why we are able to walk, sleep. Otherwise, we will just jump and okay, it's not happening. Similar way, sun and moon also has its gravitational force. It means Earth is pulling all the objects towards Earth. Sun and moon also pulls all the objects towards them. They also have the similar force, but sun is trillions of miles away from the Earth, so that impact is less. Likewise, moon also kilometers away, so that impact is less, but it definitely impacts. How it impacts? See here, these are the waters. The full water gets pulled from the Earth, and that's why you see the tides, right? So when full moon happens, the force is towards sun, towards moon, and towards Earth. Now all these three forces are acting on our body, acting on our water which is within the body. So now think what situation will happen with this body. It is a havoc. It is really a problematic situation. So this full moon day is a big problem day for human body. And if this is a scientific way, and if you want to understand on an easy way, this is what the situation happens with us. See, Earth is pulling us from the bottom because we are standing on Earth. Sun is pulling from the different side. Moon is pulling from the different. We get pulled from everywhere, and that's the kiosk within our body. And that is the precise problem of you might have heard a lot of this time, right? A lot of this situation. Effect of this particular phenomena is cumulatively damaging you, and that creates all this. About what happens to new moon. Okay, where moon is in between, moon is here, sun is here, and you are are standing on the earth, you are in moon phase, sun and moon was pulling you from the different side. Now how double pulling. Moon is pulling, sun is also the same side. And earth anyway is pulling. Your electromagnetic force was already impacting you, troubling you. So now see how much your body is facing all these issues, all these problems because of the sun and moon and earth rotations around each other. And because of they have their own forces to pull the object. Right? So now here it is again a message. It means new moon day also is a very problematic day. New moon also is a havoc for all of you, right? So this will happen on a new moon. The moon and sun will pull from the different side. So situation here is everything is pulling. So how now your reduced weight will help you in these troublesome days? I told you that 15th day, which is a new moon or full moon day, is a problematic day. But how fasting on 11th day is going to help you there? How? See, now understand the logic. On 11th day, Ekadashi is the fast which is being told of to do a 36 hours. It means when you reach on the 15th day. Now, if you are fasting, your weight is little less. I told you before also. Even you can see that when you are taking lunch or dinner and you go on a weighing scale, you will feel some grams or milligrams of weight increase because that is a weight of food you into. This is a weight of water you have, right? So this is explained by Mr. Newton. Newton, who was a scientist. What he says, that force is equal to mass into acceleration. Okay, the people who are a little bit aware about science, they know this very well. Who are not aware about science, don't worry. I will tell you in a simplified way. The force is equal to your weight. Okay, that's the simplistic way this Mr. Newton was trying to tell us. Okay, it means as your weight is more, that force, remember that force which sun and moon was pulling, earth was pulling, that force is more influencing you, right? So as long as you have more weight, you are more prone to get issues during these days. So the purpose of fasting is to get your system clean as well as to reduce your weight by not taking water and food, so that these 2 days which are heavily troublesome for you, you will not get impacted or influenced by this kind of forces. And that is why the forces which is creating a issue that water pushes to your veins, your pipes, your equipments, it will not impacted that much. Your body will remain stable. I hope that this now situation is very clear to all of you, that why the fasting on 11th day is so much of important, because of this particular forces impact. To give you some figure, if moon has one force, this is kilogram in meter second square, let us say, then sun has a 0.4 and rest all other planets are impacting us. Mind it, sun and moon is anyway impacting because they have a more force, but all other planets also impacting us. And that is why in astrology, you might have seen sometimes somebody is saying that, yeah, if the Mars is creating a problem, you wear that particular stone or you do some rituals. Or those are correct. It will give you benefit if it is correctly done because of this technical reason, nothing else, right? So till now, I will allow you to take a little deep breath, okay? And I will repeat you my breath. Focused in the rotation of the sun, our humans so complicated. Our internal organs of the body runs the whole factory. We have a digestion process that it take the food and crush it and create a lot of other components within the body. We always have a gravitational force toward the center of the earth, and electromagnetic force due to everything within and outside is moving. We are living on the earth, so we face gravitational force toward the center and also face a gravitational force with sun and moon. So these are the conclusion or the crux what we have seen so far with, okay? So situation, right? This was the problem for us. So with this problem, actually what happens when this phenomena within our body, that little detail I want to tell you. Okay. Now, in this particular situation, what happens to us is that happens the biological tide within the body, because you've seen that the sea has a tide, similar way tide happens within the body. It is a biological tide. Okay. And one of the psychiatry at USA, Florida, whose name was Arnold Labor, he mentioned that biological tide within our body affects human mood and behavior. Many of the times when you woke up, you would have observed that there is no reason and you are very happy. Okay, there is no reason, but you are very happy. Many of the time, without any reason, you are very sad. You are silent. Why? This is because of this rotation impact. This is because of this biological tide happens within the body, that the water which is within the body creating trouble to all other equipments of the body, and that actually impacting our behavior, that impacts our mood. In mental hospitals on these particular days, special arrangements are being done because the mad people, the mental people start behaving very irrationally on that day, on this particular 2 days. They cannot control themselves. The angry people becomes more angry, the cool people becomes more cool. It gives you all different kind of feelings. So I know that each and every one of us also feels the same. So don't worry if you feel something like that, because we get into a trouble that, oh, without any reason, why I am in tension, what is the problem? And you start doing some different decisions which creates a problem for you. Okay, so on that time, be stable, be within you. And this fast is helping you to be within that. Okay. Secondly, many of the times it has been observed that criminals behavior becomes more aggressive. In USA during 1970-71, if I don't, around 1970-71, the police department has announced on one particular new moon day that please be within your home because the criminal activities are going to increase more on that. How they came to know? They are not astrologers. But that was the highest on that particular time. The sun was coming nearer to the earth more, sorry, moon, nearer to the earth more. So it was having a most pulling force on that time. Many of the times the other planets also passes through the earth. They comes nearer to the earth and this force increases. And on that time such behavior, and that all the scientists knows that, right? So when I was telling you that I include many of the space scientists to understand all this phenomena. Okay, I was also not aware that how this moon, sun, and everything is impacting our body, and how while doing fast that creates helping hand for us. So the logic here is these 2 days, which is 15th day, is a problematic day. So when you fast on 11th day, your system is empty, your weight is a little bit reduced on this day because you already are fasting. Okay, so if these pressures, these forces are not impacting you. Okay. There are many articles available on internet. There are many books available on moon controls your mind. Okay. There are many poems, songs, everything is available on moon, not for the Mars or Jupiter, right? Because moon is nearer to us and it is impacting us. It is giving benefit to us if you know the correct way. Because on a new moon, our energy level is completely down. You don't see the sunlight because light is the energy, light is the power, right? So new moon, there is nothing, it is not there on the moon. So you don't see that. And there is why it is a dark. New moon is called a dark day, and full moon is called the light day, right? So when you know this phenomena, you can decide your actions, you can decide your activities, what to start, what not to start. Because when you have more energy, what you do? You need to exhale those energies. What a small kid, toddler, what it does? It always keeps his hand and leg moving, right? Why? Because a lot of energy he need to exhaust. By doing that only you can. Now we all are elders, we cannot do that, right? Keep moving that. So what we do, either we get angry, or we get frustrated, or we get into some bad habits, but we exhaust our energy and try to keep ourselves down. So when you know this phenomena, you can behave by yourself. Okay. So the thing is, when this phenomena happen, a lot of things happens with us. This is all psychological happens. We feel that psychological. When somebody is having, everyone has a different habit. If I have my particular, if I say about me, when I'm down, I'm sad, I go out and have one ice cream. Immediately after 30 minutes, I become, wow, life is very good. Okay. Why? Because that particular chemicals gives the trigger to the brain to generate those kind of chemicals which boost us in the mood. Okay. So on this two particular day, you will feel all these changes, all these behavior changes in you. But if you know that why it is happening, if you know how to control, you are the winner. Okay. So now this is all I told you about how sun, moon, earth, everything is impacting. Okay. And what is the solution to get benefit out of it? Now about food. You all know that food is, if you reduce a food, which is if you are fasting and intake of the food and water is less, mechanical items or the organs in your body gets rest. Okay. But now interesting thing which I'm going to tell you is what happens in your body when you fast for 8 hours. When you fast for 8 hours, when you fast for 24 hours, when you fast for 36 hours, what happens in your body so that you are getting a lot of benefit? You know that, yeah, use a rest and yeah, but there is something else happening. Okay. So that's something else I want to tell. What is that thing? Now remember, our body needs energy to keep ourselves live, and that energy comes from the glucose. Okay. The glucose comes from what we eat, which is dairy product, grain, fruits, vegetables, beans, whatever, right? Now, this is the base of our discussion. We need glucose to have energy, to walk, talk, and do everything, right? Now, when you do a fasting for 8 hours, what happens after 8 hours? Liver will start using its last reserve glucose. Remember, I told you that for our energy, we need glucose. But now there is nothing coming in your body for 8 hours. So, but still we need glucose because still I am alive, right? So the liver will start consuming this last reserve of the glucose. And at this point, see, this is important thing for all of you. The body enters a state called gluconeogenesis, and that marks the body transition into fasting mode. I was telling you that until unless you don't fast up to 8 hours, it is not fast. This is the reason. This is the technical logic behind it. Because only after 8 hours, without any intake, the body enters into a gluconeogenesis, and that is called the fast. Okay, so number one, please fast up to minimum 8 hours and 1 minute. That will give you a 1 minute benefit. Imagine that you have a treasure box and you want to take a lot of benefits. So this is a very small benefit you can pick once you fast up to 8 hours and few minutes. So those few minutes benefit only you are going to. Okay, clear? So if you are fasting for 8 hours, still you are getting something. Okay, it means now if you want to increase your benefit, do extend your fasting time. What happens when you fast more than 8 hours? So 8 hours to 12 and 12 to 14, what happens? Body creates its own glucose using fat. So now, until the now, the fat, what was happening? That glucose was creating from the reserve stock. Now what is happening? That reserve stock is also over after 8 hours. So it start eating fat. Good thing, right? We all want to reduce our fat. So when the fast period increases from 8 to 12 and 12 to 14, start eating the fat and takes glucose from the fat. Okay. And it means now here it start giving more benefit. It reduces the fat. Once reduce fat, our weight reduce, or we are more flexible, more energetic. Okay, again, little go ahead. When you move more than 16 to 24 hours, here is the very, very important thing, and the treasure box most bigger benefit is in your pocket. Okay, what is that? Body runs out of this energy source. Okay, now it has no energy to eat fat also, because no glucose. That if you just imagine that you are digging some rock, but that the weapon through which you are digging, it has now it need to be sharpened more, right? Otherwise you cannot dig it more. So same situation. It has no energy to eat the fat. So what it does? Here our metabolism slow downs. It means the factory which was running with lot of noise, every equipment was running, it will slow down. You will feel that the factory is stopping. Once factory stops, it starts self-repair. It starts repairing the body. Okay, and how it repairs? So gives me here. The body begins burning the muscles tissue for the energy. For 8 hours, it was taking from the reserve. For more than 8 hours, it was eating fat, and now it is burning the muscles. Now remember, Baha'i writing was saying 2 wings of life. The fasting is related to sun. Sun is heat. Heat is burning, and see, it is burning. It is otherwise why the fasting is not related to moon, though moon has a bigger impact, right? This is the precise reason that now when you enter into a low metabolism mode, or it is starvation mode, it start burning your muscles now. And mind it, muscles burning is not a bad thing, because it starts burning from the inner layer. And what happens? That the bad cells are burned, and that's why you get rejuvenated. You feel young, you look young, your skin gets glowy. So this is the reason why if somebody is doing fasting for continuous more than 16 hours, after they break fast in the right way, they get more energized, the full horsepower energy they get. Because the factory starts with the fresh oil, fresh material. Okay, so here it starts burning the tissues, and this process activates the production of B cells and T cells. So this situation is called autophagy. It means now see, this is a very, very important thing on a human anatomy point. When body enters into a starvation mode, it starts burning the muscles and the tissues, start producing the cells. Now T cell and B cell are responsible for many, many benefits. As we age, the production of T cell and C cells reduces in our body. And because of that, we feel depreciation. Your skins get loosen up, you feel tiredness. Now all those things happens because of this production is reduced. Now what happened? It produces in tons and tons when this comes into a starvation mode, right? So and that is called a self repair of the body, and that's called autophagy. This particular autophagy, the research happened, and Japanese scientist, his name was, I think, Yoshihori Osamu. Yeah. That scientist, that Mr. Osamu, has got a Nobel Award for this research. And see, all our religion scriptures was saying the same thing thousands of years ago. Okay, they have not explained scientifically, but saying the same thing. And now that fellow has got a Nobel Award. Wonderful. Yes, I'm happy for that. That yes, at least he put up the science in front of the nowadays intelligent people, and they understand it. So fast is not a ritual. It is not a religious thing. Fast is a scientific thing which gives enormous benefit. So now you should know that those fast is having a lot of things. There are a lot of benefits. I'm not going to discuss all these benefits. I can just write it down very few. This is unbelievable. If you have more interest, you can go to my book and see the detail of each benefit. Okay, so it's like cancer. There are multiple diseases. It gets cured when the tissues are get burned, when the T cells and C cells and B cells get produced. Okay, multiple benefits, multiple. And that is why now remember that those scriptures were saying you are God consciousness, you come to a closer. When you are happy, when you are healthy, you can focus more either in earning or in spiritual life or wherever. So that is what the reason that the Quran or Bible or Baha'u'llah's write-up was saying that, yeah, you come to closer to me. What does it mean? It is happiness. What is the happiness? You get what you want. How you get what you want? You can work hard. How you can work hard? If you can focus more. So all those things can come only and only when you are happy and healthy. You cannot be happy if you are not healthy. So this is the reason that the fasting has most important. So what I thought, okay, everybody is doing fasting different way. Let me develop some mechanism. So I developed some method, I developed some mechanism, and these are the steps, these are the pointers which I have decided, and I have explained in our book. I'm not going to discuss right now because it is going to take another 1 hour of each of the parameters. That when you want to do a fast, you should start with decision. I want to do a fast, because fasting is a mind game, It is not a physical game, it is a mind game. The day before you want to fast and your mind triggers that, okay, tomorrow is, the friends are coming or there is a party or finish. Whatever healthy, whatever fit you are, you cannot do. So it is a mind game. So decide, behave. There are multiple things which are required for fasting. Okay. And then I have developed this method, 4-step method. I call it a 4-step method. When now you say there are a lot of benefits, tomorrow only I will start fasting. No, don't do that. Because your machinery is running and suddenly you give a jerk, not feeding anything. No, that's not correct way. You should train your body first. Okay, and there are mechanisms. First is determination. I want to do. That's a very non-negotiable. But do intermittent fasting, skipping breakfast only for 7 days. Step number 1. Step number 2. Once you are through for the 7 days, don't cheat yourself. If you break in between, start 7 days again. Okay. So that's a step number 1. Step number 2, skipping breakfast, skipping the meal also, but continue your water and fruits. Do it 4 days, 1 day in a month, consecutive every week, 4 days. Okay. Third step, skip your breakfast, skip your meal, which is lunch and dinner. Also stop water and fruits. Okay. Do it 4 days, sunrise to sunset. Okay. Try it, because I know you will fail. I failed multiple times. Why I could develop this method? I have experimented on many people. I've experimented on myself. And then after looking them and writing down the result and their analysis, I could develop this. And the fourth is attempt for real fasting. Okay. You will fail, at least you attempt for 4 times. But now your body is ready to do a real fast. Don't do, if you are having a normal happy meal every day, and suddenly next day don't stop. That's not the correct way. It will give a problem. And very, very, very important thing, very, you have sacrificed by not eating, not drinking. But if you don't break your fast correct way, nothing you are going to get. Forget everything. Even though you have fasted for 24 hours, if you are not breaking it correctly, you will feel more problem rather than benefit. I told you that after breaking the fast, you get energy like horsepower. Okay. But if you break it incorrectly, you will feel tired. There are overeating syndromes. There are diseases called overeating syndromes. Okay. You will go into a very deep sleep if you don't break it correctly. Please break your fast with your small meal less than 500 calories. Okay. Now less than 500 calories, you can make your menu by yourself. Maybe 1 banana, 1 glass of milk, 2 dates, or 1 almond. This all together is a 500 or less than 500. Maybe a lentil soup. That's it, with a banana or whatever. You can make, you can find out, and you can consult your doctor or on internet, but you can make your menu. Don't increase that food, first meal. And the water, when it comes to water, you just drink a whole glass. No, it is just a sip while you break. Then your time, okay. Because everything you jerk start is a problem, like your car or your fridge, whatever. When you give a jerk start, it is prone to break those devices. Okay. So your food intake should increase slowly after fast. See, now this is 11th day, let us say, and this is 12th. I have to break my fast here. Sorry, let me put this. Yeah, this is 11th day, and this is 12th day. I have to break my fast here. So I will not straight away increase my food intake here. I will go slow. I will take a little milk first, then little, and then on 3rd day, I will become a normal. If I'm taking 4 breads, I will start taking 1, 2, and 4, not straight away 4. Okay. And then you enjoy your meal. Okay. Now, I have seen many cases that now I have done a fast. My body is very clean. Everything is, yes. So I can do anything now in these days. You can do. You have a lot of things, but you are again spoiling. Most important thing is breaking your fast without oily food. That's the most important. Within 500 calorie also, make sure that oily food will give you a lot of trouble. I have given few menus in my book, okay, which if it suits, you can take it, or else you can find it from your doctor or from the internet. The logic is less than 500 calorie, no oil, no spice. Clear? This is very, very important. Otherwise it is not beneficial. Okay. Yep. So let me just bring this laser. Now, there are do's and don'ts. I'm not going to discuss here, but the very important thing is end your fast in a safer way and maximize the benefit, what you have sacrificed. Okay. Because we know ends well, everything is well, which ends well. We know that. But to make it well, you have to follow some rules, do's and don'ts. Okay. Very important thing. When you feel sick, when your immune system is down, don't do fasting. Okay, this is the same thing is written. I have read in Abdullah's writing. The seekers are not allowed to do, and the same in all the scriptures. It is written scientifically also. When you feel sick, when you feel immune down, don't do this. Okay, actually, when you're immune down, your food intake automatically reduces. Have you ever observed that the dog or elephant or horse or cow or buffalo, when they get sick, they stop eating? Why? Because to get into this kind of modes, it automatically, any sick person reduces his food intake automatically. So, but when you are sick, don't do this. There are the most important don't is this. Do break your fast within 500 cal and no oil, no spice. Increase it gradually. Okay. So there is end of your torturing of listening to me. I know that I have poured a lot of things in your mind, lot of things. It was easy for me to understand because I have done a lot of research. I spent a lot of time. It is very difficult for you to digest at very first shot. Okay. I have tried my best to explain you in as simpler, as easy way. And you could have got my point, but still you may have a lot of questions. Don't worry. If you have question now, have time, please proceed. I'll try to give a best answer of it. And if not, you can give your question to Nahal and we will work and approach you with your answers. Okay. For your information, next Ekadashi, 11th day, if you want to do, it is 14th of March and 28th of March. Okay. So anyway, somebody who are fasting, anyway, they are fasting. But this is just for information. So be conscious or cautious that while they are doing fast on this particular day. So now the platform is for all of you.
Thank you so much, Chirag, for all of your wonderful talk. I think it was so very clear, and I love how slowly you brought everyone to the understanding, collective understanding. So I think that was really great. Maybe you can close the screen share and we can maybe see a little bit more of the people, or if anyone would like to show your video now. You're welcome to send me questions or or just go ahead and ask Chirag the questions directly to him. We went a little over time. So I don't know, maybe you fully answered everyone's questions, but if there's anyone who has any, welcome to use this moment to ask.
Okay, I think I believe that I could explain you very clearly, but any point in time, don't worry. You may raise any questions while you are doing fasting. You may face an issue that some of the typical questions when I was interviewing the people, it was like when to start, when to stop. Okay, so those are the questions they were facing. You may also have similar things.
So
Hey, yeah,
Behnam,
please.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Hello, Chirag. Nice meeting you. I enjoy your course. I am Nahal's father. So for your information, and what you are describing about the mechanic of the body, I am also engineer, work as a project
Wow.
manager in oil and gas. So there's
Wow.
lots that we need to share together.
Yes.
So the question I have is, so you are suggesting is not every day going through this process, choose one day of the week, let's say Sunday or Saturday, and then take those, I take a picture of the chart you have made already. So, but I don't understand the concept of not drinking water for, let's say, 8 hours or 10 hours. So what is, can you explain a little bit more?
Yeah.
What time and when you should not drink the water?
Okay. See, the very basic, when we were seeing that video of the body with a lot of items, right? I told you that body also contains 70% of the water, right? Now, as sun and moon and earth gravitational force impacting on the water on particular day, right? It is always impacting. Okay, but on when it comes to a straight line, it impacts more, which is on new moon and full moon day. But on other days also, it has a pressure, it has a force. So that as like it impact on a sea water, similarly it impact on our body water also. Okay, so body water also gets pulling force. So when you don't drink that water, you are reducing that water level within your body, so that that pull force, which is coming from sun, moon, and earth, has less impact of that pull. Okay, and which will not give that huge pressure to your arteries, vein, on your equipment. So that's the reason that do a fasting without water is always benefit. With water gives benefit, but not as much as what we want to captivate the benefit.
Is it every day or only once a week?
Okay, so there are two things. One is you are preparing your body for starting the fast. That is a one angle. Okay, so your question is related to that, or your question is related to you are doing fasting regularly, like morning, sunrise to sunset for 90 days. Okay, for example. So during that time, your question is, or the question is while preparing your body. So your question is for which event actually? You are asking for which purpose? You are
Okay,
doing.
yes, because let's say I'm diabetic and I need to watch all doctors, everybody says you need to eat every 2 hours or 3 hours, or if you drink 2,000 liter of water a day, that's going to improve you. So I'm trying to relate all your lecture based on this, what we need to do. What's the best?
Correct. So best is if you are diabetic and if there is a medication required, okay, don't do a waterless, because then you need, that is what, if you are sick, see that was the line, if you are sick, immune system is down, don't do that. Do a fasting at the best, whatever you can, like you can reduce your grains intake, that's it. Okay, that's the one. Second way is reduce your grain intake, still you are capable, reduce or your water up to only for 8 hours. Don't stretch for more than 8. Okay, if possible. That is also not possible. Don't stretch your body without water, because see, now this all discussion, everything when you are healthy. Okay, when you already have some problem like diabetes or something, or maybe kind of a physical damage of any organ, okay, which requires the processing maybe enough water, and if you stop this, that can create a problem. So in my suggestion and recommendation, if that's the situation, don't disturb that. And if you need an intake of water, take it. Try if you can stop for 8 hours at least, not more than that.
So is it safe if I get 8 to 12 hours fasting without food and without water? Is that okay? Every, let's say in one, I mean, during the fasting month is a different issue, but on a regular fasting, on, let's say every month, every week, can I choose 1 or 2 days, follow intermediate fast for 12 to 16 hours is okay?
Yes, don't even stretch up to 12. Okay. Yeah, 12 is 12. Don't stretch for the 16. That is number one. Number two, try to do that on this 11th day. Okay. That is actually giving you more benefit compared to any other day of the month. So if you are planning for some days in a month, okay, then choose this 11th day.
Choose, sorry, choose what?
Choose the 11th day of the month. Okay.
Oh, I see.
This
11th.
Ekadashi, which I told you, okay, that will give you a more benefit if you are not doing regularly or every day. If you are planning to do on some particular day, my recommendation to choose this day.
I see. That's good. Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Welcome.
Does anyone else have any questions that they would like to ask?
I've taken more than some defined time, but I think people have an interest and we continue it. So.
Yes, I just wanted to maybe clarify, I think, for everyone here, because I think there's we kind of like had this conversation for two purposes. One, for Chirag to introduce Ekadashi, specifically the type of fast that you do 3 or 4 days before the new moon and the full moon, so as to off balance the gravitational forces of the sun, moon, and earth. So that's one. But the other thing is that because Baha'is right now are all fasting, and we're doing the Baha'i fast, which is sunrise to sunset, waterless fast for like approximately 12 hours. It depends on which part of the planet you're on. Or which part of the earth you're on. But it says that even in the Baha'i writings, that even if it is more, if like you don't have sunrise and sunset, like there's darkness, like in especially the Nordic countries like Iceland, Finland, and things like that, you would just do it from 6 to 6. So basically, I don't think the Baha'i fast goes more than 12 hours, but I thought it would be interesting for people to know the benefits of fasting beyond that time, but then also after this Baha'i fast, if anyone wanted to continue a regular fast, that it would be beneficial specifically on the 3 days before the new moon and 3 days before the full moon. So not random days, Baijun, as you were saying, not just a random Sunday, not a random Saturday, but it's specifically on the days 3 days before the full moon and 3 days before the new moon, because these days, the forces of the earth pull your body in directions, so that if you fast 3 days before, it means that on the day of the full moon or on the day of the new moon, your body is empty of food and it has less weight, so that on that day, your mass of your body, your weight of your body is less. So you don't have so much water on your body, which reduces your weight, so that these forces don't have so much of an effect. So your mood doesn't get so affected. You don't go crazy. You don't feel like you can't make clear decisions, that everything is kind of balanced. So the reason why you would do an Ekadashi specific fast, like continuing forward after the Baha'i fast, is to off balance the gravitational forces of the earth, which this aspect we don't really talk about in the Baha'i writings. But I thought it was interesting that still Baha'u'llah talks about continuing your fast whenever you want. And you can, if we're not able to do the fast in the Baha'i month, that we could do it later on. So this is just the yogic perspective of specific days where it would actually benefit your whole body to fast on those days because of the forces around us. So I just thought that would maybe help clarify some things, because we're talking about several different things, and because there's so many principles in yoga that in general, I think it would be helpful, like no oil, no spicy food, not breaking the fast with those types of food. I think that's helpful for Baha'is who are currently fasting. But then also the additional aspect of that, if you wanted to continue the fast afterwards, like you wanted to do intermittent fasting, that intermittent fasting is a scientific concept, but Ekadashi is a concept based off of the gravitational forces of the earth and what that affects on your body. So it's an aspect in which people don't often talk about, but it affects our body, so that there's another type of fast that you could do. Intermittent fasting, you could choose it on any day. But this is a perspective where it shows that on specific days, because of the rotation of the sun and because of the rotation of the moon, that it actually benefits you specifically if you fasted 3 days before the full moon, 3 days before the new moon, to offset those balances. So this is really a talk. Yeah.
I would like to know the Ekadashi words. Where does it come from? What's the history of the word? Is it something has been made for this process, or is it have a source?
Okay, so
has been chosen.
Yes, Ekadashi is nothing, but it is just a Sanskrit meaning of number 11. That's it.
I see. This is a Indian word, Ekadashi.
Yeah, it is. It's a Sanskrit. So there is one of the ancient language in Indian history. So the Ekadashi is just number 11, nothing else. No background, just an 11.
Yes. Is it possible we can get your PPT presentation?
I think I'll share it now. Yeah, I'll share it now.
Yes. Okay.
And of course, no, definitely. And you can have my book also. Everything is very detailed and very simple English. Okay, so that everyone can understand. It is very straight away, step by step, and a lot of interesting things which I could not bring here in a short time, but a lot of interesting things are also there. So you can refer that also. Definitely I'll give this presentation to Nahal, through which you can get it.
Nice. Thank you. Very good. So I'm done with my questions.
Awesome. Thank you so much for asking that question. I think that was great, actually, to clarify for everyone. And I think that was an excellent, thank you for volunteering yourself to talk about a health issue, because I think many people will also have this question. So I think it's an excellent one to ask. Does anyone else have any other questions that they would like to ask? You're very, very welcome to have the floor. You don't have to be my relative to ask a question. 有没有就是想问的问题？Maybe I can, if there's anyone who wants to ask a question in Chinese, 要是有想用中文问一个问题，没关系，我可以帮你们翻译。I just told everyone if they wanted to ask a question in Chinese that they could ask me, and I'll be happy to translate. If there's no questions, maybe we'll end here. We had quite a lengthy discussion, which I think was really necessary. Going into the details of Ekadashi and the moon cycle, the fasting, like connecting it to the scriptures. I think it was really like quite a holistic one. So if there are no further questions, I will end the discussion here. And please join us actually for future guest expert lectures. If you would like to come on the Yoga Avec Moi newsletter, that's where we usually post all of our free events or any of our events in general. So usually in our membership portal, every month we have a guest lecture speaker, but this month and one other month before, we opened it to the public so that anyone can join. So if you would like to be informed of when those are, the newsletter is the best place, but also you're welcome to join us on any of our social medias, on Instagram, on Facebook, and on YouTube. The name is Yoga avec moi, and you should be able to find the names there as well. And so if there's no further questions, I will end the chat here. Thank you so much, Chirag, for being our March wonderful guest expert lecturer. Oh, and I did want to tell everyone that the replay of this lecture, I'm going to be posting it on YouTube and on the membership portal. So if you have any questions, they will be in it. So for Chirag's PowerPoint presentation, I think we will be sharing that just within the membership portal. But if anyone would like it, welcome to email me at yogiavecmoi@gmail.com. Yogi is spelled YOGIAVECMOI@gmail.com. YOGIAVEC@gmail.com. Okay, so I think with that, I will see you guys in the next guest expert lecture series. Bye.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a nice day ahead.